this is going to be quite a simple little video. It's basically, I've noticed that the front brake light switch wiring, brake light just isn't working. So what I'm going to do is just have a look at the wiring, have a look at the switch, see what I can do. I expect it's going to be the switch. They're quite cheap plastic things, and probably £5 or £6. They do tend to go quite a lot. I replaced the one on my previous modernish bike, a Sprint, about 2 times. Maybe we could buy more expensive switches, but I think that it's just higher prices for cheap switches really, so let's see how I go on with this. The switch actually lives underneath the lever under here, and you can already see there's some suspicious wiring. That blue wiring is certainly not standard, so maybe that's the problem, or maybe someone put that in the past because they had a problem. So I'll check that out first before I actually take the switch off. You don't need a lot of tools, a screwdriver and maybe a pair of needle nose pliers just to pull the connectors off. But what I'm going to use to test it is a test light. And if you're doing anything with electrics on a bike, if you haven't got one of these, you really you're not even playing the game. And a multimeter. Now the multimeter will do everything the test light will do, but isn't quite as easy and simple to just connect up to things. Now the other tool that I'm using is a brake light on-off indicator. Now this is one that I've made for myself, so you might be interested in having a quick look at this. My brake light test equipment is basically a bit of white board on a trestle. Let's just check that it works. So I'll turn the ignition on, press the pedal for the rear brake. Yeah, seems pretty conclusive that that's working okay. Now I'll just pull the lever for the front brake and see what happens. On, off, on, good squeeze, off. I think we're pretty sure now the front brake switch isn't turning the light on, so let's investigate further. There's 2 wires. One of them will be live, one of them will go to power the brake light at the back. So live goes into the switch, when you make the connection, goes out, turns the light on. So if I cross these 2 wires, basically I should get power here and the brake light should come on. So I'll do that first to see if this wiring, which does look a bit suspicious, but if that's the issue or whether it's the switch that I should investigate. I'm just going to use a simple test light. First of all, I'll just connect it into that, make sure it's actually touching. Then I turn the ignition on, and when I touch it to this, the light should come on. And there we are. That shows me really that the wiring isn't the issue here, so I do need to investigate the switch. The switch is this plastic thing here, held on by 1 screw. Now, invariably this screw's not going to give up easily, mainly because it's a steel screw into aluminium, and I think it's to a galvanic stuff. I should have listened more closely at secondary school. I think causes corrosion between the two, which makes it tend to be quite sticky. Need to make sure we put some anti-seize on that when we put it back. But first of all, I've tried it with a screwdriver, just in case someone else has had it off, so to speak. Oh, hang on. No, I've been a bit luckier than I expected, and it does seem to be coming undone. Oh, try not to ruin the screw, which is the most likely outcome. And there we have the switch, and a little bit, and it sounds like it's working okay. Let's investigate a bit further. Straight away I can see that the casing on this has burst open slightly, so that doesn't bode well for something that lives outside. I've squeezed it back together, but what I'll do now is I'll check for continuity across here. Should be completely open, but when the switch gets closed, then it should give a connection, should be completely closed. So I'll set the multimeter onto fairly lowish ohms. Just check that it's working. It seems okay. So connect it across these two. Still open. Press that brake. That'll be the switch on. Now, absolutely nothing. So it's a new switch. Now, I'm fairly lucky in that I was brought up in an age when we didn't have front brake light switches, so I tend to press my foot brake anyway when I'm braking, so the light will come on if I'm riding in the meantime. But I'm going to buy a switch as soon as possible and fit it, and then we'll see how that works out. 2 or 3 days later now, and I've bought myself a new switch. It was actually £2.95, so I think that might work out to about $5. It's so cheap I nearly bought 2. If I had, this one would never fail, because the other one would sit there and I'd wonder why I bought it in about 2 or 3 years time. So, looks exactly the same clicky noise. Let's just see if this makes any difference on here. So I'll set this to ohms. So, open circuit, closed circuit, seems to be working okay. So let's see. So I'd expect this to be open circuit when it's shut, and to go closed circuit when it opens. So let's start with it shut. Definitely a 1. Let's let the switch, using the brake, so the switch opens. It's giving us a little bit of a reading of some resistance, but nothing worth talking about. So that would be with the brake on, brake off. Looks to be working fine. Let's get it fitted. Right, I've set up my brake light tester. So, ignition on, rear brake. Definitely can see that coming on, although it's a bit brighter today. Hopefully it'll come through on the camera. Right, front brake. Let's see what happens. Looking good. Excellent. Luckily, that was a fairly simple task. It was the switch and not the wiring which I was worried about. It was a really cheap fix. It was a lot more fiddly getting that switch back on than it appeared. Yeah, having the camera there and trying to get your fingers in the right place and your eyes and varifocals. Ha! What a laugh. Anyway, no problem. Got it on in the end. So that works absolutely a treat. I did put a little bit of anti-seize on the screw, you may notice along the way. Hopefully it won't seize in for the next time I come to do that job. Anyway, if you enjoyed that and if it was helpful, and sometimes watching something like this can be helpful, even when it's a very simple job, because for a lot of people they haven't got the confidence to even start on something like that, even as simple as it was. So this may help them. If not, I tend to watch quite a few YouTubers doing the kind of jobs that I do, and it's amazing the little wrinkles that you pick up, the things you didn't know. So it's always worth having a look at the same job done by 2 or 3 people if you can. Right, so if you haven't already, it'd be nice if you subscribed, but failing that, give us a thumbs up anyway. Let's see what happens with this bike next time.